Hello, everyone. My name is Maha Alfrey. I'm an assistant professor of educational technology at Princess Noor bint Abdurrahman University in Riyadh, Saudi Arabia. Today, I'll be sharing with you some of my findings from a recent study that was conducted in November and December of 2017 on the role of self-regulated learning in informal learning environments. So a brief background of the problem. Since their inception in 2008, massive open online courses, or MOOCs, have grown tremendously. As of 2015, the number of people who signed up for these courses has doubled and reached an estimated 35 million users. This growth is also evident in the number of MOOCs offered, the top topics covered, as well as the number of universities offering MOOCs. Despite this rise in enrollment, MOOCs still suffer from an exceedingly high dropout rate. So why is that? Well, if you follow MOOC news and research, it becomes clear that MOOC design and delivery varies. However, there are some common characteristics that they all share, such as open access and scalability. Open access means participants join with varying skills and knowledge. Scalability, on the other hand, means that learners must go through the course with minimal, if any, interaction with MOOC instructors. This, coupled with the lack of predetermined structures of a formal higher education, makes learners' ability to manage and regulate their own learning crucial in order to persist and succeed in these environments. However, research tells us that not all learners possess the self-regulation skills that they need in order to succeed and persist. So we can see that we have the problem becomes twofold. First, learners need to have the self-regulatory skills to be able to learn independently in MOOCs that are very flexible and lack structure. But on the other hand, what we know about self-regulated learning processes and skills mainly comes from research conducted in formal education situations or contexts. And many researchers warn us about applying what we know about self-regulated learning in formal structures or formal contexts to MOOCs. So, several scholars have suggested that self-regulated learning skills, or in other words, learners' ability to take an active role in their learning by employing specific learning strategies to achieve their goals, may be particularly important for students participating in online courses and as well as in informal learning contexts where there is less external control and incentive. According to the social cognitive view of self-regulated learning, self-regulation is not limited to the cognitive processes and behaviors that learners perform, but is also influenced by motivational and contextual factors. For instance, learners who are more motivated or interested in a task or feel more confident in their ability will employ more self-regulated learning strategies such as help-seeking, peer learning, and such. So this study, or the research questions that drove this study, are two. The first main research question is there a relationship between MOOC participants' motivational beliefs, and specifically goal orientation, online learning, self-efficacy, and online learning task value, and their use of self-regulated learning strategies, which are time and study environment, effort regulation, peer learning, and help seeking, and their self-reported persistence to goals in MOOCs. The second research question is, after controlling for MOOC experience, do motivational beliefs and use of self-regulated learning strategies predict self-reported persistence to goals in MOOCs? So the This study took place during the offering of a MOOC entitled Humanizing Online Instruction, or Human MOOC, that took place in November 2017 and was offered on the Canvas Open Network. This MOOC explored the community of inquiry framework and targeted those who were interested in online instruction, design, and research. The sample included in this study or the final sample included in the study was 111, and it included about 67% females and 32 males. The majority of participants were white Caucasian, 30 years and older, and have a master's or doctoral degree. Participants in the study were also asked about whether they have enrolled in and completed some or all of a different MOOC in the past, with 62% indicating previous experience with MOOCs. As for the research design, this study used a quantitative survey methodology and employed a post-test survey that participants filled out at the end of their participation in the MOOC. In terms of the specific variables included in this study, in terms of the motivational beliefs, the variables included online learning self-efficacy, online learning task value, as well as 3 goal orientations, which are performance orientation approach, performance orientation avoidance, and learning orientation. In terms of the specific self-regulated learning strategies, these include time and study environment, effort regulation, peer learning, and help seeking. In terms of the specific subscales used in this study, I use the Motivated Strategies for Learning questionnaire to measure the self-regulated learning strategies included. And for the motivational beliefs, I used a tridimensional measure of goal orientation, as well as online learning task value and self-efficacy scales. The outcome variable in this study was persistence to goals, and it was measured as a single self-report item as a percentage of the that participants provide, which represents the percentage of goals that they have achieved for participating in the MOOC. So prior to analysis, exploratory factor analysis was conducted on all the subscales using these different tests, including correlation among the items, the commonality values for each item, and scree plot. This led to removal of some items, and most importantly, the time and study environment subscale of the Motivated Strategies for Learning questionnaire, which led to the removal of 5 of the 8 items in that subscale. However, removal of these items did improve the reliability of the subscale. So in terms of the results, or the results of the correlation analysis, it was found that of the motivational variables, only a task value was related to persistence. However, task value was also related to all the self-regulated learning strategies of time management, effort regulation, peer learning, and help seeking. Further, all these self-regulated learning strategies were significantly related to persistence. In terms of the relationship of the other motivational belief variables, only self-efficacy was related to the self-regulated learning strategies examined in this study. For the sequential regression analysis for the second question, of course, I began that with data screening and checking for assumptions. This sequential analysis was 3 steps, with MOOC experience as a control variable, and it was entered in step 1. Step 2, I added the motivational belief variables of performance orientation approach, learning orientation, online learning task value, and online learning self-efficacy. performance orientation avoidance was removed from the regression analysis based on the correlation analysis results. In step 3, I included the remaining self-regulated learning strategies. As you can see, there was a significant increase in R-square after the addition of motivational belief variables in step 2, as well as the addition of self-regulated learning strategies in step 3. The final model was statistically significant and explaining about 32% of the variance in persistence to goals, with time management emerging as the strongest positive predictor of persistence. In terms of the major findings of the study, as I mentioned in the beginning, what we know about self-regulated learning in informal learning environments is very limited. And so the first thing that I was interested in is to see whether the relationship between these variables, between motivation, persistence, self-regulated learning strategies, if it's similar or different to what we know about it in formal learning context. And the results, generally speaking, confirm the ongoing relationships between motivational beliefs, self-regulated learning strategies, as predicted by the social cognitive models of self-regulated learning. And also the most important variables that were significantly related to persistence in this study were time management, online learning self-efficacy, and online learning task value, with time management emerging as the strongest positive predictor. And of course, this finding should come as no surprise. Self-regulated learning studies in formal learning settings, as well as in MOOCs, have consistently found time management to be one of the most important self-regulatory behaviors and related to a number of positive outcomes such as satisfaction, motivation, achievement, and persistence. As mentioned, this was an exploratory correlational studies, and so we cannot infer any causal effects. However, a natural next step to this study would be to include the significant variables that emerged in the study in more controlled and experimental studies. Also including different data sources such as interviews and learning analytics would greatly improve our understanding of self-regulated learning strategies and processes in informal learning environments. These are the references if you are interested, and thank you so very much. I hope you found this helpful and useful. Please do not hesitate to contact me via email or Twitter with any comments, feedbacks, or questions and suggestions. Thank you so much.